from a water-damaged basement in Prince George's County, Maryland. It's Sunday night, so that must mean it's time for Sunday songs. How are you? How are you doing? How was your week? My week could have been better, I'm not going to lie. I've had better weeks than the last one, but that's all right because we got a new one starting tomorrow. I hope your week was all right. It's good to see you here. Thanks for being here. And let's play some tunes.
The night's so long you can almost hear it groan. The night's so long you can almost hear it groan. And we walk so far that our shadows turn to stone. It was a wretched room, but we hung up Christmas lights. It was a wretched room, but we hung up Christmas lights. And the girls played house while the neighbors froze outside. Brace yourself for the letdown. The Holy Ghost with his hands out. No peace on earth is cheaply found. Do you see my colors now? She had long black hair and you bought everything she sold. She had long black hair and you bought everything she sold. And she taught you the fine points of doing just as you were told. Brace yourself for the letdown. The Holy Ghost with his hands out. No peace on earth is cheaply found. Do you see my colors now? Do you see my colors now?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Make sure you throw down in the chat where you are tonight. I always love hearing where everybody is, so toss it in there. Where are you guys listening from tonight besides St. Augustine?
Clap of lightning, I awake to a foot of water standing in my basement. Started rising, took me under. The flood is coming. This is not history in black and white now. In a perfect storm there isn't any high ground. The end of childhood, the end of summer, the flood in color. They tried to warn me, I wouldn't listen. And now all at once I'm drowning in my kitchen. My legs are broken, treading water. The flood is coming. The flood is coming. I tried to bargain. I tried to reason. But the sky was deaf, the rain was never ceasing. It's not some cheap bed I can cover. The flood ain't cover. The flood ain't cover. Listen close now. I was dead wrong to think that things could work themselves out in the long run. Pay attention, heed the thunder. The flood is coming. The flood in color.
Thank you. All right, let's see where you guys are. Always one of my favorite parts of the show here. Kurt's in Sydney, Australia. It's early in the morning for you, isn't it? Be sour. Bellevue, Kentucky, with a giant bottle of homebrew. You know, everything in moderation, including moderation, be sour. So I guess that's cool. Let's see. I need to start getting more creative from where I'm listening from. I guess so. Jessica's, David's in Melbourne. A lot of Australians joining us today. Why the hell aren't you guys working, man? What's the matter with y'all? How do you have time to watch this? Crawford, Colorado, last home of Joe Cocker. Kind of dark, Gary. Kind of dark. Fong Moy's in Maryland. What's up? What county are you in, huh? Are you in PG? I don't mess with Montgomery, so I hope it's not that. David's down in Sao Paulo, staying awake to watch it live. Awesome, man. Thank you for staying awake. I appreciate you, man. It's awesome. Kimmy's in the South Loop of Chicago. That's a beautiful thing. Oh, this is great. Joey's drowning out the cicadas in Chicago as well. Spencer's in Roanoke. Oh, this is great. Guys, thank you so much. Nick's Pittsburgh by way of Dayton. James is San Luis Obispo, California. John Fogarty. John Fogarty making his appearance again. There we go. Oh, Spencer, waiting on some Christchurch women. You might get your wish later in the show tonight. I am going to play some Justin songs later tonight. I'm definitely going to play some Justin songs later tonight. Here, let's play a few more tunes here. I'm so glad to see all you guys out there. Thanks for joining tonight. Makes me very happy. I always look forward to this every week. Here's a tune off of The Flood in Color. I guess all these have been. Whoops.
We found you in the street with a list of all our names. There were stars beside the strongest and the weakest. They cut you quite a deal, almost too good to refuse. But some of us don't just worship what's convenient. We thought that our distance was safe, but wickedness can travel. You are not fragile. You are not fragile. You are not fragile. And your father, rest his soul, the finest man I ever knew, spoke a truth that was clean as an island. They gave him every chance to repeat the party line, but he shattered their windows with his silence. So they took him out back in the rain and they made him an example. But you are not fragile, you are not fragile, you are not fragile. Now they're rounding up the boys in the nation of the war, and they left behind the two-faced and the useless. On the first of every month, the neighbors gather on our lawn, and we dance for their mercy like we're minstrels. They dug up the headstones last night and broke them in the gravel. You are not fragile, you are not fragile, you are not fragile. You are not fragile, you are not fragile, you are not fragile.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All that stuff is off the Flooding color. Let me mix it up and go to a different album for a little bit.
To dare into the darkness, but if you are devoted to a dream, go and light the lantern, leave your family abandoned. Meet me by the shallow of the stream. Ah, meet me by the shallow of the stream. Ask me is to love with hesitation. My answer is the same as it has been. Here is my affection, no conditions and no questions. Open up the door and let me in. Ah, open up the door and let me in. Trust me is to travel past the towers. Those who make it back from here are few. It takes all of your devotion to have courage for a moment. The world has bested better men than you. Ah, the world has bested better men than you. To love me is to sit upon the mountain. Every step is harder than the last, but to find the step above it is to triumph, is to summit. Taste the frigid water from the tap. Ah, taste the frigid water from the tap. Curse me for the life we left behind us, is to misremember what was cost. Far from the vacant cradle to the empty kitchen table. Show me what was precious that was lost. I'm sorry that I said it, and I know it might be reckless. Ah, show me what was precious that was lost.
Thank you. That's Hymn 76. That's the first song off an album called Great Despiser. All right, let me play one more of my tunes here, and then we're going to get to some special covers for tonight.
I am the day, I am the dawn, I am the darkness coming on. And I'm once, I'm twice, I am the whole, I'm just a slice. Some call me gone, some call me here, none are wrong, none are near. I am right now, I am back then, I will return, don't ask me when. I am the disappointed kiss, I am the unexpected harvest. I am the old Kentucky home, I am the son who runs the farthest. I have done wrong, I will do wrong, there's nothing wrong with doing wrong. And I am faith, I am belief, except for when I'm not. I am the teeth of champions, I am rust and water out. And I'm sleep, I'm breathing, I'm the missing of the passing seasons. I am the brush, I am the strokes, I'm sickness come to the best of folks. I am renewed, I am just made, I am unchanging. I'm a pasture fenced about the edge, I am Dakota thunder raging. And by my shoes and by my feet and by my soul and wonder, I am the tracks we've laid above, I am the tunnel running under.
Thank you very much. Here, I want to see what you guys are up to in the chat here, and then I'm going to play a couple songs. Obviously, last week's show was me kind of coming to terms. I just heard that Justin Townes Earle had passed away, and so I was kind of in shock. And I wanted this week to kind of get it together to really learn all the words to a couple songs of his. I toured with him a lot, and I used to know all of them, but it was 10 years ago now. So I'm old, man, is what it comes down to. I'm really old. Hey, it's JJ up in York, Pennsylvania. How you doing, JJ? Good to see you. Hope you're well. Awesome. Oh, and Tamara's in Iowa City. I did hear that the Mill closed. The Mill was this iconic old venue in Iowa City. Iowa City is pretty much just a college town. Didn't mean that to be pejorative, or, you know, it's a good college town, but it's far away from any other big city, and they supported this little venue there called the Mill. I played there a dozen times. I believe I played with Justin there many years ago, and I heard that they closed down because of COVID. There's going to be a lot of that coming up. All right, so I'm going to cover a couple Justin songs here. Oh, look, Susan says Band of Heathens just covered Harlem River Blues. Well, I don't got that one on tap tonight. I'm going to play my 3 favorite Justin songs. So yeah, let's do it. These are all ones that he used to play on the road, and they won't be huge shocks. I'm not really the B-side guy. You know what I mean? That's cooler than everybody else because I know a song that no one's ever heard of before. I always go to the songs that resonate the most of artists. That's what I'm about. So here's one he used to play all the time when I was on the road with him.
With a couple in the back, they've been going at it all night long. Yeah, the man in the back's putting bets out over the phone. And I ain't got nowhere to be. Ain't nobody waiting at home for me. There's nothing lonelier than midnight at the movies again. There's a girl named Martha who meets me here on Saturday nights. She never says too much, she just sits down beside me, puts her hand in mine. She's got a gentle way, keeps me from feeling alone. She always shows her plate, leaves before the credits roll. Yeah, and I never watch her leave. I just close my eyes and pretend I'm asleep till the second feature begins. Midnight at the movies again. And so it's half price, double feature, 2 1/4 after 7 o'clock. And there's no smoking, no drinking. Get your candies in your red hots. Get your candies in your red hots. So shut out the lights, tell those fools down front to take a seat. And if you see my Martha, tell her I'm in the corner just to wake me if I'm asleep.
One of my favorites of Justin's there. He, going over these songs this week, it was really cool to see how brief they all were, how few the lyrics are, but how much they say, how much detail he put into them, man. And my favorite part of that song, wonderful bridge, right? Kind of like a happy, almost tongue-in-cheek bridge, and then it ends with this kind of half verse, doesn't come back to the refrain again, just kind of surprises you with the ending. And I know as I go on and continue to write songs, I try to put surprises in songs like that a little bit more. And Justin was just a master of that. Here, let me play you a few more. This one I'm going to play here is definitely my favorite of all time. How could it not be? This one's just devastating.
I am my father's son. I've never known when to shut up. And I ain't fooling no one. I am my father's son. We don't see eye to eye. And I'll be the first to admit I never tried. Yeah, it hurts, but it should hurt sometimes. We don't see eye to eye. I was a young man when I first found the pleasure in the feel of sin. And I went down the same road as my old man, but I was younger then. It's 3 a.m. and I'm standing in the kitchen, holding my last cigarette. Strike a match and I see my reflection in the mirror in the hall. And I say to myself, I got my mama's eyes, her long thin frame and her smile. Now I still see wrong from right. Yeah, I got my mama's eyes.
I came this close to getting through it. You know, the really great thing about that song, I was going over it this week, and you know, a really wonderful line in it that I'd never really picked out because it almost sounded like a throwaway line. It's the line after he goes, I was a young man when, this line right here, I first found the pleasure in the feel of a sin. And I mean, if you're not someone who writes songs or works with words on a regular basis, I could see how it would be easy to not look at that as really a special line right there. You know, it's a bunch of one-syllable words on a 5th grade reading level with 1 2-syllable word. I mean, it's just not outwardly impressive, but if you write songs a lot or if you work with words a lot, you'll really appreciate just how difficult it is to write something that simple and that direct. So that, you know, I love that. And then the whole song here, not only is this like a good bridge, I mean, the whole song just hangs on this bridge. That's the whole thing. It's just this picture of him, you know, in the kitchen in the middle of the night. And another beautiful line in here, it's not smoking my last cigarette, it's holding my last cigarette. And the beautiful part of that is it can't be smoking because he has to light the match in the next line, you know. So he spent so much time on the details of these songs. You could tell, particularly that song right there, that was a period where he was really paying attention to every single little word. It's a perfect song, man. Absolutely perfect song. Let me play you one more. I was doing alright, laying in and laying low. I was wasting my night, calling in my favorite songs on the local radio. I was standing in the window, staring down into the streets. Yes, when the lightning flashed, the thunder rolled and the telephone rang. I'm waiting on a Christchurch woman in the rain. Yeah, the rain keeps
coming, but it ain't enough to cover the pain. Now I've always been a fool for conversation and a couple of smokes. Yeah, when I'm feeling this blue, I just need someone to laugh at my jokes. I'm waiting on a Christchurch woman in the rain, and it's early evening, so there's hope for a better day. Now I know that it's getting late. It's Friday night, the crowds are starting to fade away. I know I shouldn't be here waiting on her, but I keep thinking any second she'll be coming round the corner. I should be in my own, and I should learn how to forget. Well, she may be pretty, but one day I'll be sick of her shit. I'm waiting on a Christchurch woman in the rain. And the rain keep coming, but it ain't enough to cover the pain. Yeah, I'm waiting on a Christchurch woman in the rain. And it's early evening, so there's hope for a better day.
All right, well, there's some of my favorite Justin songs. That song, Christchurch Woman, when I was working on it this week, I went back and listened to the studio recording version of it, and there's Jason Isbell played electric guitar on that session, and there is a guitar solo on that song, Christchurch Woman, that he played it is a stunning guitar solo. I mean, it's so good. It's just this really triplet heavy, plaintive guitar solo. So if you get the chance, listen to a lot of Justin's music this week and going forward, but listen to Christchurch Woman and listen for that Jason Isbell solo. It is just, it's unbelievable. All right, well, let's see. I'll jump back into the chat for a second, and then we'll do a soft boy poem corner. What else will we do? We'll do some stuff. Charlie says he wasn't going to drink tonight. Here's the JTE. That sounds, Charlie, like an excuse to me. That sounds... Hey, Craig's listening from Christchurch. There you go. I'm sure you've waited for a Christchurch woman in the rain before. Everyone's raising a glass. Yeah, let's do that. I'm not drinking anything right now, but I'll be drinking heavily after the show. So I'll join you guys then at that point. Oh, man. Oh, look. Jack says he saw Justin at the Castle Theater in Bloomington on Kids in the... Oh, he had the Sadies backing him. Oh, my God. The Sadies are a legendary band. Oh, this is so great. I'm so glad to see everybody here. Okay, so if you're new to our Sunday Song Show, one of the segments that we do here is a segment called The Bone Pile, and this is wherein I play you guys a demo of a song that never made the cut for an album. So I wanted to play you a song tonight that I've never demoed out a song or tried to record a song more times than this one. I think on my hard drive or various hard drives, I probably have legit a dozen different versions, attempts at this song. So I wanted to play one of those attempts for you. Sometimes you can hear something in a song and you just can't capture it recorded. And this is probably the closest that I think we ever got to it. So this is the Bone Pile segment, and I hope you enjoy this demo. This song is called None the Wiser.
Well, she's none the wiser, sets my soul on fire, but she's none the wiser. I loved a woman from a single kiss. She left Virginia for Los Angeles. She found her husband with a blue chip job. Takes her for granted, runs around like a dog, but she's none the wiser. Ain't that like her? He's an awful liar, but she's none the wiser. Then I decided I would tempt my fate. I drove across the lower 48. I pledged my heart to her forevermore. She laughed and asked if we'd met before. She was none the wiser. Ain't that like her? And I could walk right by her. She'd be none the wiser. Yeah, she's none the wiser. Ain't that like her? Sets my soul on fire, but she's none the wiser. Yeah, she's none the wiser.
So there you have it, our weekly Bone Pile song. I love getting to dig through hard drives and find all these old songs and demos and stuff for every week. So thanks for letting me do this. If you're also new to our live stream here, another segment on the show here, we read some beautiful poetry. And this week's poem is going to have to do with immortality, because that's something that I could want to believe in this week in particular. So this is a little segment that we like to call Soft Boy Poem Corner, America's favorite time to cry. Okay, this week's poem is courtesy of Uncle Dylan Thomas. Drank himself to death, the White Horse, in Manhattan. And this is his ode to immortality. It's entitled, "And Death Shall Have No Dominion." And death shall have no dominion. Dead men naked, they shall be one with the man in the wind and the west moon. When their bones are picked clean and the clean bones gone, they shall have stars at elbow and foot. Though they go mad, they shall be sane. Though they sink through the sea, they shall rise again. Though lovers be lost, love shall not, and death shall have no dominion. And death shall have no dominion. Under the windings of the sea, they lying long shall not die windily, twisting on racks when sinews give way, strapped to a wheel, yet they shall not break. Faith in their hands shall snap in two, and the unicorn evils run them through. Split all ends up, they shan't crack, and death shall have no dominion. And death shall have no dominion. No more may gulls cry at their ears, or waves break loud on the seashores. Where blew a flower, may a flower no more lift its head to the blows of the rain. Though they be mad and dead as nails, heads of the characters hammer through daisies, break in the sun till the sun breaks down, and death shall have no dominion. Amen to that, Uncle Dylan. Okay, we've come to the part of our show now where I'm going to jump into the comments and the chat for the rest of the show, and I'm going to take your requests and your questions in general. Mama Mary's back. She's here for every stream. That's great. Have you ever played somewhere and realized that something impactful was happening? Yeah, I mean, well, in the artistic sense, it was definitely on the road with Justin. But I've spent so much time on the road that a lot of things have, life and news and history just happens while you're on the road. I remember I was on the road with Strand of Oaks, and we were in Madison, Wisconsin. I'll never forget it. We were in Madison playing the High Noon Saloon, and I came off. We played our last song of the set, and I came off before the encore, and Tim Showalter from Strand of Oaks was there at the side of the stage, and he was like, "Hey, man, this is kind of weird. I don't know if I should tell you this right now, but Osama bin Laden, the military killed him. Like, they got him, man." And I just remember having to go back on stage and announcing that to the audience before the encore, and immediately no one paid attention to the encore. Everyone just went to their phones immediately. So yeah, I mean, I've been in a lot of different places, a lot of different situations where life and history were happening, and you just happen to be on the road while it's happening. You just happen to be playing shows. Let's see here. Susan Ramirez wants to hear Blues Came Down. Yeah, I can definitely play that for you. I'm going to take just another question or two, and then I'll play Blues That Came Down for Susan. Sander, what is your obsession with Guild guitars? I don't know. Is it wrong to be obsessed with something that's good? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm either too poor or too cheap to play Martin guitars. I'm not sure which. I think it's probably too cheap because if Martin started handing me guitars, I'd probably start playing them. Martins are nicer than Guild guitars, but Guilds are really affordable, and they sound 85% as good, and you don't worry about them when you travel on the road. I mean, if United Airlines broke this guitar in half, I could go buy another one for $500 on eBay or Reverb all day long. So, not that $500 is nothing, but it's certainly not $5,000, and that's how much a Martin costs. So, yeah, that's why I'm obsessed with it, Sander. Give me a break, bro. Gary Dutzler, how come you started to play your guitar a step and a half down? I started playing. I'm playing a standard tuning guitar now, but the other guitar I play is a step and a half down. And the reason I started playing that was I wrote that song "Bright Beginnings" in standard, but I couldn't sing it. This is what it would be in standard. I don't know, but I could swear. It's like, so I had to take the guitar down, and then I realized it was like the most popular song on that album, so I couldn't go on the road and not play it. So I had to bring a guitar with me that could play it, and then I just started playing other songs on that guitar because the G formation is in the key of E and a lot of useful things. So that's why. Thanks for the question, Gary. All right, I'm going to play Blues Came Down for Susan. Keep on hitting me with those questions and requests in the chat. I'm going to stay here for a while. Oh, I'm still in drop D. Hold on.
I woke up after breakfast. I left her bedroom late. The streets were filled with strangers, half expecting a parade. I never saw it coming as the first applause began. Then the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. on my fingers, sugar on my tongue. My father stood behind me and he asked what I'd become. I said I speak a language that you'll never understand. And the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. Blues came down, blues came down. They say that truth and justice must be their own reward. I grew rich pretending, while the honest all went poor. Don't you play dumb about it when you're on that witness stand. While the blues came down on the heels of a marching band. Yeah, the blues came down on the heels of a marching band.
Thank you. That one was for Susan. Let's see what else you guys got here. John says, your Steubenville friends in Houston say hello. We can't wait for you to come back to the Mucky Duck someday. I hope the duck is still standing when I get back. I really do. Let's see. Servant's Ace, maybe. Corey says, how's your family doing? I know your wife is a teacher. What does school, I guess you got cut off there. My family's doing okay. I got, thank God I don't have kids who have to do homework. I really feel bad for the parents that have kids that are homework age or have to do virtual learning. That is a bummer. My kids are really small, so we'd pretty much just be doing the same thing anyway, I think. Just messing around the house, messing around the park, stuff like that. So thank you for asking. We're all good. Kevin wants to hear Slippin' and Slidin'. I'll probably end up doing another show of Justin's songs, not next week, but, later on at some point, I'll probably end up doing more covers of Justin's songs, and I'll do Slippin' and Slidin' for you. That's a good one. Doug says Champagne still rolls deep. Yeah, I used to have a really good crowd out there in Champagne, man. It was fun, man. St. Ender says, do you find it's harder to devote time to writing due to the pandemic? No, it's harder to find time to devote to writing because I have 2 little kids. It is staggering. If you have kids under the age of 5, it is staggering how little time you have. And you really, all you do is fantasize about the time before kids when you just simply don't understand what you did with all your damn time. At least that's me. Let's see. I did see. Zachariah, you missed it. Sorry, brother. Have you ever produced another artist's album? No, I would love to, especially if I got some more time, and especially there's a couple artists I know whose albums I'd really love to produce. I think one day I'll probably do that when I have time. There's just, there's limited time, but I'd love to. All right, let me find a cover here to do. Come on, man. Get it together, Pug. Find a song here. Okay. You want to hear the measure? Yeah, we could do the measure. It sounds good. Although I feel like I always choose your songs. Sorry about that, everyone. I gotta get to other people's songs.
every inch of anguish laid out side by side cannot make a full yard in the measure of our lives. Every corner sorrow weighed upon the beams rises when the far side is faded by our dreams. Where the night is rich, as we stop to look around, yes, I believe it is, as we pause to hear the sound. All we lost is nothing to what we found. All we lost is nothing to what we found. Every dying ember, every setting sun cannot cast a shadow on the race that we have run. Every paper dollar counted over twice cannot buy our gladness, cannot pay our price. Well, the night is rich as we stop to look around. Yes, I believe it is, as we pause to hear the sound. All we lost is nothing to what we found. All we lost is nothing to what we found. Yes, the night is rich as we stop to look around. Yes, I believe it is, as we pause to hear the sound. All we lost is nothing to what we found. All we lost is nothing to what we found.
There you go. That's the measure. Let's see. What else we got here? What else you guys want to hear? Alex says, how did you get into roots and Americana music? You always ask your guests on the podcast, but I don't recall you telling about your exposure to the genre. My father was a musician until he was about 35, basically till he had me. Then he became a carpenter, was a contractor for many years, and then a teacher. But before all that, he was really into music, played in a bunch of bands in the Washington, D.C. area. And his main influence was the band, as in Robbie Robertson, Levon Helm, Garth Hudson, Richard Manuel, and Rick Danko. And, the band is basically proto-Americana, what people call Americana or roots music. Now, the band was doing all that, mixing country and blues and rock and roll. And so he really exposed me to, my dad exposed me to a ton of music, John Prine. He got me into Tom Waits. He got me into John Hyatt. I was a huge John Hyatt fan when I was a kid. So that's how I got into it. My dad introduced me. Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll leave you guys with this one here. Maybe I'll do two more. So Say Tender wants to hear Wind Falling. Sure, you got it, brother. Or Sister. I don't know what Say Tender you could. Who knows? Who knows? I don't want to guess.
Riding on that cutting horse, don't you stand so tall. Sleeves rolled up and your shoulders back, sharp as a miter saw. Children come from far and wide, spill out in the street to call your name and to watch you ride touch the boots on your feet. If you're in it for the windfall, don't be surprised when your will to fight wavers and eventually dies. But if you're in it for the long haul, if you're in it to survive, there's not a trench you can't be found. There's not a drought could drag you down. I can see it in the whites of your eyes. If you're in it to survive, riding on that royal road, silver in your beard. The years came fast and they took their toll. Friends just disappeared. Younger riders pass you by in all their silent style. You see that brightness in their eyes. You hang your head and smile. If you're in it for the windfalls, don't be surprised when your will to fight wavers and eventually dies. But if you're in it for the long haul, if you're in it to survive, there's not a trench you can't be found. There's not a drought could drag you down. I can see it in the whites of your eyes. If you're in it to survive,
thank you. I'm going to play one more tune for you here. I appreciate you guys being here on Sunday night. I appreciate it when you can hit the virtual tip jar here. I also appreciate it when you tell a friend about the show. Tell a friend about the show. Have them come out every Sunday night, 9 p.m. I love doing this. Thank you for continuing to show up. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to leave you with one more here. I saw a lot of requests for Not So Sure, so I'll leave you with that one.
there was a time when I heard you calling out my name. But these days, I'm not so sure. When the room went dark and your voice was gone, I heard you all the same. But these days, I'm not so sure. I knew I could remember your bedroom and your touch, but these days I'm not so sure. Definitely was a word I used far too much, 'cause these days I'm not so sure. I bummed expensive cigarettes, I wrote John Steinbeck's books, I undressed someone's daughter, then complained about her looks. Stealing was so easy then, I wish that it still were. Now here's I pick my own pocket, I know that these days I'm not so sure. The church was my kitchen, the world was my church, but these days I'm not so sure. The choirs I would listen through briars I would search. These days I'm not so sure. I sacrificed my sister, I prayed my own soul to keep. I told my dying father that a man should never weep. Breathing was so easy then, I wish that it still were. Now yes, the breeze just makes me colder. I know that these days I'm not so sure. I drank my wine for breakfast every morning. I was born in the black electric winter. My back was always warm. Sleeping was so easy then, I wish that it still were. Now in my sleepless bedroom, I know that these days I'm not so sure.
Thanks for coming to Sunday Songs. I'll see you next Sunday. Bring a friend next time, and have a great week. Peace.